This is about the George Floyd psychological operation and some of Lil Nas X. Now, the Lil Nas X shoes and his partnership with Nike is synced up with coronavirus. So I'll explain why. The two I was the two numbers that stand out are 666 and 1018 because they selling the Satan shoes for $1,018. Isn't that specific? 1,018. You just had to put the 18 after the 1,000, huh? Well, they did it because of the. I'm not religious. The Luke 10:18. When Lucifer strike down from heaven to hell or earth in a lightning bolt. He did the same. Lil Nas X did the same thing in the music video, but he did it with a stripper pole. Um, so I get the resemblance on that, and 666. Everybody know what 666 stand for, but how I synced up with coronavirus is because Event 201, which is the coronavirus outbreak simulation made by all the pharmaceutical companies that's profiting from this right now, such as the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. They simulated this whole thing, but 1 month before it actually happened in Wuhan, China. In the same day, on the same day, the military war games began in Wuhan, China. 1 month before all of this happened, they simulated it. Now, a deflector would say, well, they kept COVID to themselves and was thinking about how they were going to operate out of it because they knew that it was gonna spread. Um, you just gotta learn gematria, man. It's the code that the Jesuits go by, the people who control the whole world, and from politicians to media to celebrities to sports, news, all that. And they like to sync up news with sports. I'm gonna tell y'all um, another one of that too. That's pretty funny. But the Event 201 was made October 18th, 2019, 1018. $1,018 per pair of shoe. Now, it was another virus outbreak simulation made by John Hopkins and other, pharmaceutical companies. And what's ironic about that is that when COVID touched down in the U.S., it was March 11th. That's when the outbreak was declared, March 11, 2020. 666 days before that date, Clade X, another virus outbreak similar to Event 201, was simulated by a university, John Hopkins University. John Hopkins University simulated Clade X, another virus simulation, 666 days before it actually began. Not to mention that Anthony Fauci said in 2017 January um, that there will be a surprise outbreak under the presidency of Donald Trump. I mean, is he a fortune teller or he know what's going on? Um, I think he know what's going on. And what's more ironic, I think they deleted the clip on some 1984 type beat, but Anthony Fauci, the two heads of this whole COVID pandemic is Bill Gates and Anthony Fauci. And before COVID came to the U.S., January 2020, Anthony Fauci said there's no need to be wearing a mask. Like, it's not keeping you safe. Basically, he's saying if you gonna catch a virus, you're gonna catch a virus. A mask is not gonna protect you, and he's right. Now, if you'll ask him today, he'll be like, wear a mask. which is just symbolism for dehumanization, man. And I can talk about this all day, how the Jesuits control the world, but you gotta keep hope that people will wake up and like push back and say no and see what the news is really there for. But it's too many sheep. It's the sheep outnumber the woke people. So it's a game called 2077. Y'all should watch the gameplay of that game. It's basically people are just like basically cyborgs, and that game is so sad. And what's funny about 2007? Why couldn't it have been 2076? Why couldn't it have been 2078? Because they work in 19-year cycles. 1982, war on drugs with Ronald Reagan, the cocaine epidemic. 19 years later, war on terrorism, inside job 9/11. 19 years later, war on germs. And you gotta love the fact how many hijackers were um a part of the of 9/11. 19 hijackers. And 19 years later, you have COVID-19. I mean, come on, wake up. But yeah, the Lil Nas X is synced up with that coronavirus thing. But George Floyd, that psychological operation that has everybody in the uproar, and people that look at me and say I'm deflecting police brutality on black people, don't talk to me, bro. I've been woke. Like, first I was on the black power shit. I'm still am. I was on that exposing white supremacy shit. Back in 2017, I did a whole speech in front of my high school class, um, basically saying what did Barack Obama do for the black community, like particularly for the black community, not minorities, the black people. Nothing. He did nothing. People like Barack Obama because he's black. That's it. Just because he's half black at that. So I exposed. Nobody was on that shit with me when I was in high school, talking exposing white supremacy. They didn't want to hear that shit. Now y'all just starting getting woke and oh, we getting treated wrong. Um, um, when that George Floyd shit happened, that psy-op happened. Now the news came out on George Floyd, May 26th. Kobe Bryant, faked his death. I'm gonna just say it. Kobe Bryant faked his death. News came out January 26th. Um, what are the odds of that? Bryant equals 26 in gematria. Floyd equals 26 in gematria. Both of their daughter names are Gianna, which is not a common name. The George Floyd incident happened in Minneapolis, the Twin Cities. And the day before that, a woman was caught on camera choking her dog by in a what park that is in New York? Uh, but no, the fucking what park that is? Central Park, called bird watching. In Central Park, choking her dog on camera, which was, close to the Twin Towers. Minneapolis, Twin Cities. News came before that, which happened next where the Twin Towers used to stand. In the time of Gemini, the twins, Steven Jackson come out saying that George Floyd was like his twin. What got me was, and before I learned gematria, I probably would have been all in the uproar. There was a planned script to divide and conquer, order out of chaos. That's how they operate. What what tricked me out was that his model car, when you look at the police camera, the model car was a 320 ML. I forgot what car he drove, but it was 320 on the car, and the car that he what Derek Chauvin kneeled on his neck. The model of that car, what a car number, like a bus number, that cop car number was 320. I was like, bro, what are the chances of that? Like, they put numbers in your face and expect you not to see it. But once you learn gematria, subscribe to Gematria Effect News 22. Subscribe to Gematria Effect Sports. Get the the daily news update on how they're contriving everything and just playing the script all around you. 320. The avenue he was choked on, the street he was choked on was called Chicago Avenue. Right? Look up the Chicago disaster that happened in the 1900s, in the early 1900s. They say that 300, mostly black people, were killed in that disaster. When you Google it, it'll say 320 people were killed. What are the odds of that? Chicago Avenue, 320 people was killed in the Chicago disaster. He was chunked out on Chicago Avenue. He's a Freemason. 320, the same cars, and it's synced up with Martin Luther King too. I actually learned that today. The day Derek Chauvin did that was he was 44 years and 68 days years old, which reminds you of Dr. Martin Luther King, who died on 4/4/68, April 4th, 68. Now they changed in the news today, this like how they play with numbers. If somebody in my family member dies like that, with a cop nail on the neck, first of all, I expect you to like wiggle or fight your way out. Don't just lay there. If you watch the whole video, George Floyd actually told the cops to put me on the ground. You gotta watch the whole video. He said, "Put me on the." This dude was acting an ass. That's how you know it's a psy-op. He acting a complete ass. It was a black man, just watching it, like he seen it go on, cause George Floyd didn't want to get in a car. I guess he was talking about he was claustrophobic. I don't know, but he didn't want to get in the car, and then the man was just like, bro, just get in the car. They not hurting you or nothing. Get in the car. Oh no, I wanna get, like, he's just acting. You gotta watch the whole video. They only want to show you when Derek Chauvin's neck was on. Knee was on his neck, and Derek Chauvin's neighbors claimed that they didn't know that he was a cop. All their years knowing him, they didn't see a cop car outside his house or none of that. Now all of a sudden he's a cop now. I don't know the gematria numbers specifically synced up with Derek Chauvin, and the news coming out today saying that, oh no, he didn't kneel on his neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. He knelt on his neck for 9 minutes and 29 seconds. Like, come on, bro. And the 44/68, this news coming out 44 weeks after it happened. 44 is the kill number. I don't want to make this video too long. 44 is the kill number. 44 weeks after that. Like I said, they work in 19-year cycles because every 19 years the moon is at the exact same place as it was 19 years before. 2001, the Pentagon, one of the buildings, got hit at 8:46 a.m. What are the chances of the buildings getting hit at 8:46 a.m. 19 years later, which caused all this uproar and riots. The biggest news story besides COVID 2020 was the George Floyd case, and he was on his neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Put your feelings to the side and come and just think. Just critical think. Just think for yourself. Stop believing in the news. You're programmed. You're indoctrinated. Wake up. You're asleep. Wake up. It's time for everybody to start seeing like things for what they really is. It's this a chess game. They take your pain and they profit off of your pain. Everybody knows injustice is happening to black people. It's been happening. And they know that too. So what we gonna do to cause an uproar? Oh, we gonna stage this event with a black man acting ass, and we gonna make a nail on his neck. 8 minutes and 46 seconds. It's all a plan, bro. Then they get $20 million after that. But that's it for this video. I'm making more videos. I'm exposing stuff. I'm showing people. That's why I want to say it. I'm saying this too. They like to sing up the news with sports. In the past 2 to 3 weeks, two celebrities have had French bulldog problems. Taraji P. Henson and Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga came out with it first, saying that her French bulldog was kidnapped from her. Then later on March 28th, Taraji P. Henson French bulldog, I think, dies from surgery. I don't know the specific, but it's dead. And that was her French bulldog. And what's ironic about that, the Taraji P. Henson French bulldog story came out on March 28th, which is Lady Gaga's birthday. The NCAA tournament right now, Gonzaga is cold. They undefeated. That's the top Jesuit university. The Jesuits are originated in France, Paris, France. French bulldog. What's the mascot of Gonzaga? Bulldog. So let's see what Gonzaga does in March Madness. Shout out to Zachary K. Hubbard. I was already woke before this, but when I seen that video of the coronavirus outbreak, a mocking revelation, don't panic. Because I was scared of coronavirus when it first came out, because my supervisor was putting fear in my heart, like, oh yeah, it's coming near, it's coming to all these cities near us, it's finna hit us next. I'm like, man, I ain't trying to get no COVID. But when I seen that video, I'm like, how stupid can I be to believe the renamed cold and flu? Look up COVID symptoms. It's literally the cold and flu. But don't trust in the hospitals. They're funded by the government, so they got to do anything they tell them to do. So like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.